The Joker and Batman are dead and or missing. Gotham is a wasteland and it is up for the taking. Too bad that Harley doesn't want it. Yet. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Crossin Streams. As always, I am your host, the real Gino Reynolds, and today we're going to be taking a look at the DC Universe's Harley Quinn series. Season 2 has finally come out. We're going to be taking a look at Episode 1, entitled New Gotham. This episode and this season starts a short time after the destruction of Gotham, which was destroyed by a massive earthquake that was created when the Joker's tower went down. At the beginning of the episode, the President of the United States declares that Gotham is no longer part of the U.S., so they're on their own. Harley is relishing in the chaos, but Ivy really just wonders why Harley hasn't taken over. They have a few discussions. Harley's just like, I'm enjoying this. Everything's nuts. But problems arrive at their doorstep literally when the Penguin decides that he wants the mall as part of his territory, the mall that Harley and her crew live at. After dispatching his goons, Ivy says this is just going to keep happening. And then, of course, Two-Face's goons show up. And they're wanting the same thing. This is Two-Face's territory. Harley, after being guilt-tripped by Ivy, decides that something needs to be done. So she decides that she's going to confront the goons, and she goes to what could be described as the goon bar. Harley convinces them that Gotham shouldn't just be ran by the big villains. It should be by anybody. It's up for grabs. Not just by the main villains of the city. So she turns the goons against all their bosses. Where the goons are all trying to be like the Penguin or like the Riddler. And there's a big montage of them basically screwing with the big villains. The five big bosses, the Riddler, Bane, Two-Face, the Penguin, and Mr. Freeze decide that they need to team up to stop Harley's Goon Rebellion. We then go to Commissioner Gordon, who is waiting for a sign that Batman is still alive. But the only one to respond to the bat signal is Damian Wayne, aka Robin, dressed up as Batman, and he says, "I'm Batman, I'm ready to take up the mantle," and it sounds pretty silly. And he's even wearing he's short and he's wearing tall Batman suit. It's pretty funny. Then we go to Harley returning home after starting this rebellion, and Ivy tells her that by liberating the goons, it's made the problem much worse. Instead of having to deal with 5 big bads, they have to deal with like 100 little ones, and it's much worse. She once again tries to tell Harley that she should have taken over the city. Harley then gets an invitation from a newly formed group called the Injustice League. Harley goes to the meeting but learns that it's the 5 big villains, obviously, who are this new Injustice League. And they do reveal their plan to divide the city, but she's not interested. But they even offer Harley a part of the city. Granted, it's the crappy part of the city. But Harley says that she should be the one that makes the rules because she's the one that took out the Joker. They all agree that they knew she wasn't going to play along, so Mr. Freeze freezes her and she's taken captive. And the villains, it shows her looking from through the ice, and the villains are taunting her to no end. Of course, this does nothing but piss her off. The Bane taunt is pretty funny because that's all you can hear is just him mumbling, and it was pretty funny. We then go back to Gordon, and he's trying to convince his cops to go out there and do their jobs, and they're all excited. That is until Two-Face and his goons come in and take over the department. Gordon is able to escape, but is confronted a short time later by his very own cops, who are now criminals. They make a comment about how things move fast in the city. It's literally seconds after we see them that they're now working for Bane. Gordon they let him go, but they bash the bat signal, and Gordon begins to lose hope that Batman is gone and that all hope is lost, and he throws his badge in the river. Penguin then decides to throw a big party to celebrate getting his power back. We learn, though, that when he enters the club, that he is the one keeping Harley frozen. So she's in the Iceberg Club as a display. Harley's team have learned that she is there, as we see an obviously disguised Two-Face pretending to be a waiter. After Penguin makes a speech, the team do make their move, but they are discovered, but eventually partially get Harley out of the ice, enough to where she can swing her bat arm, and she's not very happy. She eventually gets to the Penguin, but is separated from her team, and he begins to taunt her, calling her, quote, a goon with a name. Still frozen in the ice, Harley is... Okay, do you remember that scene in Batman Returns where the Penguin bites off that guy's nose? Well, Karma is a bee, and her name is Harley because she bites the nose right off of his face. And this causes her to fall back, and the ice breaks. He begins to attack, and she's eventually able to get to him and kills him with what's left of her baseball bat. Just stabs him right through the throat. So the Penguin is dead in this series. Man, this series has no problem killing off villains. It killed off Scarecrow in the season finale of season 1. Penguin is now dead. Joker's probably not dead. Batman's probably not dead. But they didn't mind killing off a couple big villains. We go back to Gordon, who's at home, and he's in bed. His wife's turned around in bed, not facing him, and he begins to find his faith again in the law and in Batman and everything else. He tells his wife that he's going to fish his badge out of the water, and he's going to start the Gotham PD again. This is going to be headquarters. And as he's got all his faith back, she then tells him she wants a divorce, and that brings back his hopelessness. We then go to Harley, where she learns that she was in ice for 2 whole months, even though the episode makes it play like it's pretty quick. Ivy then tells Harley that the 4 remaining villains have carved up Gotham in 4 ways, calling it New Gotham. And Harley decides that this is over and that she is going to take them all down. This was a very strong start to the second season. I was glad the season came very fast because the first season just ended not too long ago, and they brought it back very quickly. And I was happy to see that. I'm wondering if they did that because maybe the DC Universe app, there's rumor that it's going to be going away because of HBO Max, and a lot of the DC Warner Brothers DC stuff is going there. So I was happy that they released this. I don't know if it's going to HBO Max or if this is going to continue, but I was glad it came back fast because I'm still really enjoying this series. I like that they're taking a lot of chances with these characters. They're allowing Harley to kill characters, like killing off the Penguin. I don't know if they're going to be killing off more characters, but we're going to find out, or I'm sure she's going to go after another one. She's still got 4 more villains to go after, so we'll see what she does against them. But so far, the series is still very funny. It's still totally making fun of the Batman mythos. And at first I was a little irked about that, but once the intelligent jokes started coming in season 1, I really warmed up to the show and I really warmed up to the characters. I am so looking forward to what's going to happen in the next episode. This was a very strong, interesting dynamic not having Batman and Joker here. I loved the whole thing with the villains taunting Harley, basically saying you're not a real villain, you're a goon. You're just a goon with a name, as the Penguin said. I loved how they played into that and how their taunting of her basically is the thing urging her on to take them out. So I'm really looking forward to episode 2. That's going to be all for this edition of Crossin Streams. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Gino YouTube channel, like this video. If you have anything to say about Season 2, Episode 1 of the Harley Quinn series, entitled New Gotham, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Till next time, I am your host, the Real Gino, Gino Reynolds. See you later, puddins.